Alright. Are the microphone? Cindy Kim. Cindy Kim. Okay, what's it long? And where do you live, Cindy? If you didn't know. Oh, that's. Oh, yeah. That's crazy. So, all right, so, okay, so we have to do the rotation to the quality. You have a mic? Yes, there is. I'm sorry.
I'll just depopulate this morning. We're off. Please bow your heads. Good to recognize how different they are, our talents, our dreams, our backgrounds, our occupations. And it's good to know that when you created each of us, you broke the mold. No one is exactly like anyone else. Even our thumbprint and our voice track tell us how unique we are. Yet, thank you that we can take these differences and mobilize them for the good of Rotary and our community. In our differences, we can think the same thoughts and move together for a common goal. Bless us that we meet together. Thank you for our individuality, for common bond. Amen.
Amen. All right, Kelly, come on down. Get us screwed up. Election, the 4 ways. Right. Look at that shirt. Safety first.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Okay, so those of you who are at least my age will remember when we were 48 states. The gentleman named Red Scout did this, and I'm going to repeat it. So this is your Pledge of Allegiance, but when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, it's kind of like you just have to put it in. It's kind of your church. Done, move on. But we're actually going to talk about the Pledge of Allegiance. So you don't need to follow me. I, be an individual, a committee, one, pledge, dedicate all my worldly goods to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and my devotion. To the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom. And whenever she waves, there is respect, because your loyalty has given her the dignity that shouts, freedom is everybody's job. States, individual communities that have united into 50 great states, 50 individual communities with pride, dignity, and purpose, and divided by imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common cause, and that have the love of country of America. And to the Republic, a sovereign state in which power is invested into the representatives chosen by the people, for which it stands, one nation, being so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power for one to live his own without fears, threats, or any sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle and the qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all means all of you, in as much as your country as it is mine. Now, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice. Thank you very much. We will do the 4-way test. And I think that's all. Number 1. Number 2.
fair to all concerned.
Number 3.
will build goodwill and better friendships. Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you very much. Good job.
Thank you for that refresher, that excellent view. Keith, why don't you come on up? Yeah, I mean, give us some comments you'd like to make. Okay, so let me invite that up. Introduce our speaker this morning. Good morning, fellow Rotarians. So this morning I'd like to introduce our speaker, Brian Battaglia. Brian is the director of the Skilled Trades Education Center for the Great Trail Council of Scouting America, which will start construction this next year. Brian is a retired Hudson police officer after 25 years of service to the city of Hudson. But more importantly, he's also an Eagle Scout and has a Eagle Scout, a son that's working on his Eagle Scout, soon to be Eagle Scout. With that, I'd like to have Brian come forward and tell you more about our Skilled Trades Education Center. Good morning, everybody. We got the presentation up here.
1 second.
Well, continue. I mean, yes. Moved to Hudson halfway through my junior year of high school. Probably the furthest story to tell. We had your first day class. I walk in and I see this teacher walking down the hall. When he doesn't say, comes Coach Silver. That's not. Coach Silver walks past us. He stops, turns around, looks at me, says, "Are you new here?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Do you play football?" I said, "No, sir." He starts to walk away, turns back, and says, "Do you want to play football?" My first opportunity to coach something. I did not play football. Actually, the reason what made me I was so heavily involved in scouting as a kid. Moved over to Hudson and did not want to join a whole new troop, but I wanted to stay involved in scouting. That led to an opportunity to join the law enforcement sport was here in the city. Once I did that, I turned to a career in law enforcement. Went on to get my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Took me a long time, but later in life I realized public safety wasn't specifically my passion. It's still broader than that, public service in general. So I decided to go back and get a master's in administration. About that time is when I started my extended scouting. Pat asked me to consider this opportunity after I retired, and that's something that so the Skilled Trades Education Program, we set up a presentation to everyone.
Yeah.
So we're talking a little bit about the program, what it is. We have a challenge right now in the workforce. And maybe hiring for skilled tradesmen, and the individuals here to help construct the things that we constructed during this country. I remember small projects, with the large infrastructure project like national applications. So when we look at that, we've got 345,000 new jobs projected across all sectors. The shortage, according to Bureau of Labor Statistics, skilled tradesmen is not now, it's actually projected to be in 2029, which just happens to coincide with the majority of the tax dollar available as a result of bipartisan infrastructure. So in order to see a very short order, there's a whole lot of federal tax money being going out of trouble and infrastructure projects, and we're going to have to get a local skilled trades in order to accomplish those tasks. Then as a consequence, because I've been in there, wages for those that are in the skilled trades have gone up from 20 to 23% since COVID. So we're talking about trying to fill that trades gap, or what can we do that does fall into the mission of scouting to try to check these boxes here. But we also have an opportunity to be able to have some early information. when I say early intervention, grabbing the attention, it's part of the imaginations of kids at a younger age, where they're still a very formative period of their lives, and consider what they want to do in the future. So we're looking at School Children's Education Center. We went around on it, technically broke down on it Monday. We allowed more construction trailer, a couple of porta pots, and everything else a totally explained after that. So we're underway. And we're building a standalone building that has breakout laboratory, classroom sections, everything from carpentry, plumbing, electrical, welding, HVAC, and there's also a computer lab for 3D CAD design as well. So we based the curriculum on the program. It's largely based on the Merit series that's got books at for many years. And then we've also time studied with what a lot of the CTE technical education, vocational classes had at the moment. So so introduce target offer. These are our three overarching concepts. We're introducing those traits to those kids. And this is well specific. We'd love to be able to grab at-risk unprivileged non-college values. This is also this $7 million college enrollment is low right now. And that's a hard part of several reasons. This one is a lot of the practical development and uses. They're going to burn on to take career full-time job and something they not on that stuff. Which is pretty much for the goals. Maybe that was because it wasn't going up in the direction that child life. They were saying, hey, there's something different. So it's not just at risk of village on college property. Obviously, that is the biggest attachment. They all those individuals find something they can do to very beneficial. And then give a little map of how the benefits reach. Now I'm going to look at it. I was seeing the high school student right now. They're right after graduating high school, your child, access to education, access to healthcare. Then we start making early college out. And we don't have early college debt. Most of the parents say this is military or college tech. That was not really the case. And then if I were expanding it further, so before finding out your child is not completed their class. They now are making $60+ an hour. They've got access to small other education courses in business. They can open up those. Those are our future members. That's the ones that are going to college. So it's the all students in 6th to 9th grades. This is over 85 school districts in North Carolina that we're targeting. That population level is about 105,000. So out of those 105,000 kids, we can bring between 5,000 and 7,000 kids a year through the program of end of year 3. We're going to pump that up, talk that up. So, how do we go this? One of the things I did before this program was to really embarked on a significant amount of literature review and research and how the program was designed. And we certainly don't want a whole lot of energy, effort, and sustainability of funds into something that is going to be much better. So I want to make sure it's going to work. Research tells us that career early awareness early enough to get started in middle school. And that makes kids beyond their lifelong aspirations to be Superman. Or something that is more unrealistic, and they start to look at the environment and the world around them. More importantly, they look at the adults, leaders, and role models around them, see what they are doing in their lives, and they try to see what is going to fit that. That's really when we want to start capturing your imagination. Parental values, that model. It's not always through parents, but any other role model in their lives. And then you talk about college pressures. At some point along the lines, our parents were told that if a child was succeed, they either got a post-secondary education. Now, that's actual statements. research time indicated that that was true. However, the interpretation was post-secondary education happened in college. And that's not what was found. That is not what the research said. That's not what it intended. That post-secondary education can be career technical education. So it also has on top of that, we can talk about college debt. 2024 numbers, $1.6 trillion in student debt. Scott White scored his boards in 2025 in the race to secure a spot at top two universities. Parents are pushing the children to sell at an unprecedented pace. Why not try to spark the imagination and interest in a young person to allow them to be their propulsion for their own success? Why not give them the spark and motivation to be able to consider something different? Why should it be the parents' responsibility to be the primary mover? So we're giving these children an opportunity to make decisions that will work for them. I don't know if that's what we're Next slide, please. And everybody. Here's my problem. So basically, I kind of said for the process of determining this program is going to work. We need a way to be able to measure those metrics. So the course program is we've got the statistics of the data, the numbers from the part of education, for enrollment ages. We've developed a process to be able to measure that program and be able to demonstrate that output for our donors, sponsors, and originators of grants that we're receiving, but also for everyone above. I really believe this is a program once fully scaled. It's going to be a program that Scotland is going to want to model nationally. It is that significant of a next slide, please.
Oh, the button should work.
Yeah, I had to click on the presentation for it to work.
It works. Thank you. The first step is there are some people who are in usually North South America, but now South America, and that was changed. Primarily to account for the fact that we accept the girls as well. I am the committee chairman for my daughters, all true. But as far as the inclusivity of Scotland, it has changed. So we now includes females, always exploitation backgrounds. So, but yes, 154 shot record mentioned this, 176,000 plus growth in Scotland. Those numbers are growing. Honestly, the females in the room, we are looking for strong female leaders who embody the morals, values, and scouting to help step in. It becomes a little bit easier to find them men because they come up with scouting. But when you start to try to find, good female role models and female troops, it's more challenging. So underprivileged and underserved communities. Here's some of our sponsors. Jacob Donald, Multi is going to be doing the construction of the building itself. Tribal has graciously donated their services to build a kind of an amphitheater style outdoor seating area, outdoor education classroom area. Blue Force Alliance is part of the fence. That's the United States Navy. As part of their effort to rebuild the defense industrial base, they are looking, they're sponsoring our program, we're actually contractors for part of the Navy. K Company, and then the state of Ohio, $700,000. Who's our Bill Rover and Steve Rover and East One Secret and folks through that funding for us. But here's what's it look like. This actually kind of a sort of looking picture. This is like skyscraper that photo, but just rough idea what the building is going to be. And here's what the floor plan looks like. This is my first official tour building and running period. So the students will be graded to the smart course here. This is a large common room, And the purpose of this room is kind of a joint session, multi-purpose room, to be able to bring students who are working specifically in the electrical or the plumbing areas, pull, large parts or parts out there for programming out here. This section here is a dedicated welding lab, where we find welding tools, tables that are set up in there. And this section is a 3D CAD design, CAD program that small computers up here. So excited to actually start here and have a new building very shortly. So what's our goal? We're about $1.6 billion raised for the overall $3 million goal. The initial operating expenses and program costs we're looking to be able to finalize and get funding for. And so it's possible we're still looking for corporate sponsors and individual donors, which I would be remiss not giving you that declaration. So moving forward to the future, the operating expense to be offset through scholarship programs through available opportunities to help students who need to be able to pay for tuition programs like this. We're hopeful that a lot of school districts will be able to at least put some of the bill, will be able to bring kids out for the day. We're also looking at creative programming ideas to be able to bring in kids in the summertime, working through the daycare centers and bring kids who are a little bit younger and also scouts. So as I mentioned, it's not everyone scout is every student, but looking for some special programming opportunities here specific for scouting. So several different ways for people to fund the future of the operation. We do have that QR code there. You should put camera on there. Certainly, if anybody needs information on that, provide it afterwards or go back, provide it as well. We have a one cause site, which it will take you to the site for a little more information about the program, what we're doing, and we'll give you my contact information as well. And then certainly there's kind of information about. Always happy to answer questions about what we're working on. Video questions. Anybody have any questions for me?
I started to see this several years ago with Patrick, and some of your colleagues came, told us about this, a very version of this, but really it's very much the same thing, some other changes. And I love this. We brought up added superintendent and assistant superintendent Tom. I'd like to do that again. I'd like to make sure that I know how much we're taught to our folks at services, because this isn't just for, as you said, it's or lack of become or school business, apply recognition, our Hudson, and the work couldn't integrate very well with what we do in terms of students. Yes, yeah, Cheryl, oh, could you explain so if I were a student in this, that participates in this, would I come to this like during our school day, would it be after school, before school, weekend, summer? Where does this fit into?
The quick answer to that is yes. So the primary collaboration looking to pursue school districts. I said 85 school districts from Ohio that are target population. What we're hoping to do is be able to coordinate transportation with them, whatever selection process they use or process they use to charge. What kids, how many kids, what grades, second demand, and something defined through the district. But also in addition to bringing kids in for 1, 3, or 5 day class, depending on which option they signed up for. We're not going to be able to expose them to 5 different disciplines in 1 day, right? But we're going to find details that programming out. we have worked with, Mary Jane and Shannon. Which is, she is a minor. So, because she is the one of the champion for our product. One of the things that we ended up finding out and during my research of this is that we have a gap. We had that early interest in what the future career may be versus when they actually do it. So the majority of the vocational ed classes, they don't start until the 11th grade. Some of them, they start at 10, depending on what school districts you're in. But it's too big of a gap. So if you have, especially if you've got a at-risk youth in the 8th to 9th grade, and they don't have anything to hang their hat on moving forward, they know actually by then they're not going to excited about going to school and graduating with a diploma. We need somebody to capture that 8th, 9th, 10th grade mindset. Yeah. And is this the end all be all? No. This is one option. This is one opportunity that they have not had. As I mentioned, this is with our knowledge and for us in the country. We'll be kind of a test bed for this kind of concept. We're looking forward in as large of a fashion as we are.
In your sponsorships, I noticed a lot of businesses of various sorts. I was surprised that there were no paper companies there.
There are other reasons there. Those are just our largest ones. So interestingly enough, I was at 38 of Cleveland, electric workers. They were the first ones that got their demo. So they started with $2,500 donation for the total level. Local region gentlemen, we actually started to do a big fundraising tool. Once I told the other regions that they already donated, their gamesmanship was on. Nobody wanted to get done. So we're starting to see another donation here.
And the other thing I was going to mention, I'm aware that globally, the shipping industry has a lot of skilled trades associated with it. And you might want to contact the British shippers because they're doing, HVAC and all the other trades, but it's unique on the sea. And the Great Lakes actually carries more ship traffic than most of the West to do the work. So if the Great Lakes shippers.
That's a very good suggestion. I appreciate that. That's actually how the Blue Force Lines started. Department of the Navy has a 1+ rating initiative to give them those upgrades. And basically that equates to one Virginia class annually, and then the other 2 class supplements are currently very effective. So if there's a huge initiative by the Department of Fast will increase the productivity of the fast industrial base, and certainly maritime conditions are effective. Thank you, that's a yes.
So first of all, thanks for what you're doing and mixture services. So about 6 months ago, I was at a conference and Mike Rowe spoke. All right. And Mike talked about the Micro Works Foundation and all the money he is working with trying to give away. All right. For this very reason. So have you connected with them at all?
It's funny you should say that. Have you ever seen Shawshank Redemption, where he's trying to get books donated for the library and he's writing letters over there. He do letters over and over and over again, trying to get some trash cans. That's how I feel about trying to get our relationship with Micro Works Foundation right now. I know that it's a matter of being able to get to the right person there. So very early on in this endeavor, Pat and I talked about potential opportunity to bring something like Micro in. The reality is his foundation is inundated with such a large volume of requests. They have so few real people checking these emails and these requests and the invitations to network. So this has turned into literally it's a weekly endeavor on my part, something like weekly to go on. So I think my one that I came out yesterday had some quotes about perseverance and endurance. I'm not giving up on this. I'm going to do this every week until it's done. So that's my plan. Certainly, actions. Additionally, Micro is very, very strong action scout. Scout, very strong supporter scout. There's obviously a massive chance of trade. So any errors that you can move.
That's a good picture of your contact information. because, maybe I could contact that conference, see who they work with.
That would be great. That would be great.
Steve.
And honestly, you know, even just funding would be great, something like Micro Works Foundation. But it's something that's almost as impactful as maybe very slowly for waiting to the North. Give us a 30-second video on, talking about that we can repost online, that we can, show links to be able to garner more support from other individual corporate sponsors. Actually, some podcasts, we should look at that we used to know. Any other questions? Yes.
Trying to keep them in the program, sometimes follow the parents.
True.
Do you have any plans to look at how to keep the parents engaged with children?
So, very good question. And the specific answer is not yet. But conceptually, we have ideas of being able to, do it. First of all, scouting is always in general, has always made a concerted effort to be able to roll, parents working into the scouting program alongside, right? And a role model, leadership standpoint, and those are the people, you want those relationships to. We want to be able to encourage more youth, more parental involvement in everything we do. I think if you talk to any teacher throughout the history of education, that's always been a struggle, is how you break that, that matter more meaningful. There are things that we can do to value, to be able to bring, join the fast and bring in parents who we get, for the night. I don't see why there's a reason we couldn't pay, students, child parents, or the two down to work on a project together. That's something we've not discussed specifically, but I certainly see that in reality.
I think one way if the parents involved, I think that need to, so that fundraising program, they have to follow.
So,
I mean, even if it's just like big sales or a car wash or something like that, that needs to do the.
yeah, I agree, there needs to be an opportunity to be able to help, to empower the parents to be able to help support the program. And I think that the majority of that kind of help or program of this size is probably not going to come from fundraising efforts, as much as would come from, hey, I need your help, on Tuesday. Because we've got a shortage of adult volunteers, adult parents to be able to help engage, or can you, instead of transportation, specifically raise money in that regard, can you assist me by going out to your local HVAC company and tell them what we have going on? See if they can go on and share with them, right? Or find a way to be able to help sponsor some kids who may not have the money to be able to go to a summer programming session.
That's gonna be one answer. Has anyone ever broke it down, breaking down the cost per child? Because some people may need to sponsor a child
Yes.
to get them through, but don't have money to be huge village.
So the answer to that question is cost per child depends. And the majority of that change in cost is dependent upon how far we're about transportation related costs. So being a child, and also we got programming costs. So, we have a finite beginning and an end to what school day is, what school districts have established. And certainly if I'm bringing a child in from, Struthers, driving on a bus out here, they have a certainly longer travel time to and from than what it be from Falls. Right, so it depends on, so not only the cost, transportation cost, and number of workouts that, kind of coordinate those issues with the individual school districts and transportation companies to transportation. But also how many hours of instruction that you can be exposed to. So there's a lot of T's to cross and I's to dot when it comes to the fine details, but those are all aspects of the work. I do, well, so right now, right after the first year, is our targeted date, we're gonna bring in some school students. The building is supposed to be completed according to the construction schedule by, like, December first. So, yeah, well, let's get it quickly, yes, this year, well, let's get it quickly, do this, and get it done, and, so far, highly impressed with the staff and the logistics, the amount of planning and forethought to execute this plan on their end, something we're very, very appreciative. So just after the first year, initially, like, we're gonna start with a 6 district compact, which Hudson's part of. They're kind of going to be our beta, and then work with, Ray Jane to be able to kind of help us test that with the program and find two. At that point, we're going to very quickly, hopefully expand it to the 4 district compact, which we've targeted and, Wadsworth, North, Copley. So we expanded that and essentially now, from that. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Thank you. 2 questions. First is this program, this scouting program, is it all starting across the country at the same time, or do you have some experience places versus taking place?
So there is a council down in Cincinnati area just trying to do something similar. Aside from early concept ideas and what they had going on, I don't know where they're at in the program. To my knowledge, that's more of a local targeted, immediate geographic area. What our footprint here and our target audience is much more. You're looking at it's really all more so significant.
The other thing you mentioned, counselors, junior high and high school counselors. It seems like it would be a key person to be fully aware of what you're doing in the development house just for high council.
Yes,
They know, so let's talk.
yes, yeah, the career house, so absolutely. So we're actually approaching the point, if we're not there right now, where the majority, significant amount of my efforts shifted away from the fundraising. Once that starts, we'll bring the implementation of the program itself. So we continue to build relationships with individual districts, with compacts, and then also, like you mentioned, with the career house, is that they know that this is an option, opportunity exists. It's the potential they can steer it in to might be on the board. You just need a little bit more smart in what they do and more excited in their school. Sure.
Talk a little bit about funding.
Yeah.
What's the connection between your organization and Boy Scouts?
Yeah, we are Boy Scouts. We are Boy Scouts. Yeah, this is Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts, so it's under Scouting
America. Yeah.
and it's Northeastern Ohio.
Yes.
Can I suggest that there's some potential opportunities for funding, working with your local community foundations in Northeastern Ohio?
Yes.
Yeah. They could be a big help too.
Several actually back on a $25,000 grant in the community foundation in Valley. We've worked on things locally here as well. So we've reached out to those partners to a large extent. The part of the balance we have to recognize here, though, is a lot of those community foundations also already are pre-existing donors and funders of Scouting Red Guards. So a lot of the other things that we do in Scouting that are not specifically trade related, they are having and having intention, particularly to be strong financial support for what we do. So we have to balance it, are we asking, going back to the state well too often, is, and it's also going to a nonprofit fundraising development. To be able to allow them to work, we have a significant amount of input on where they want to invest their dollars, where they want the largest spread to be. So what I'm finding is we're having more traction on reaching out to businesses and unions who are specifically involved in the trades, because they have an opportunity to specifically invest in their philanthropic interests where they're at, in the trades, in the electric,
So did not opportunities to be able to specifically engage towards that. But to answer your question, yes, community foundations are a part of our ask, working with them to be able to find something that works for us.
There's a particular element of a community foundation that might be attractive to you to explore, and that is the things called qualified charitable distribution, where you can take money out of your individual retirement account and go directly to a charity at a tremendous tax benefit, something like that. And community foundations are active in doing that, and that could be a great source.
Maybe something I'd have to explore more specific, like the program, I know that, and it's like, not really. So maybe, you know, there are, these are great ideas and things that keep coming in, like, for y'all, and speak with you afterwards, get your information and follow up with you further, or send me an email or reach out to my contact information.
Finally, there's an audience that can really be, I found very attractive, and that is grandparents.
Oh, yes.
They not only have the time, they have the interest, and they have perhaps resources to help you.
So that's actually probably the best demographic that we can go after. For individuals who will help teach these classes. You know, the number of retirees who have come up through in the trades and made successful living in the trades, and conversely, a lot of them have some background or roots in scouting. So being able to find a way as a grandparent, to be able to bring it back into full scouting is a win-win. It's a win-win-win. It's a win for them.
Good deal.
Do you have any other questions that Jake's got?
Thank you for your presentation. Glad you're working with Mary Jane. So, one comment. Okay. So, what's interesting is for years people thought, you know, schools really want to offer something other than going to college. And like, no, we've had this 6 district out there. Really? You know, well, you ought to publicize it, you ought to get the counselors involved to have, you know, maybe everybody's now with presentations. Kids come to them, send stuff to there. So there's obviously an issue. Seems to be more with parents not taking serious sending kids to vocational growing, exploring that out. So sounds like you have some efforts to try to make sure out, but it's a tough nut to crack. My question about the 6th district are you designing the curriculum so that are also looking at 6th district, trying to fill some gaps that maybe there are, you know, so that way it's not simply a dual through programs that are.
So two points over here, and say your observation that it's some of our challenges perceptions for parents have. That's very accurate. But I also believe more research is changing the perception of what teachers have. And the reason I say that is your high school teachers are college prep courses. That's what they teach. Their objective is to be able to have a child graduate from their high school with the intention of looking at the college. You know, so it still strikes me as the number of kids that make it to 10th grade, 11th grade, and then all of a sudden they realize that their classmates were around second half of the day. They can't figure out why. And here they find out their vocational program, the CT program, and the number of kids who go, I have no idea that it exists. So we have to ask ourselves if these programs are probably being inhabited for, in our case, 6th district compact for 30 decades in the schools. And it still remains challenging unknown if those options exist. So I have to order to validate and agree with your decision. Some of that's parents, some of this too, lack of interest, or lack of attention, lack of exposure, and some validity in the program. Some of that doesn't come through.
Yeah, although all of the kids in most schools have been to the 7th grade.
Yes.
We're all out here. Parents got education, so it's not that they have exposed, but as you said, the teachers may not be.
They're not pushed. pushing it, they're not pushing it, and, you know, those of you with kids, that it's people I call them, that they're putting down information. You know, we as parents sit and talk about the same thing over and over and over and over again, and they look at us and we're step more language, but then when they hear it from somebody else, another parent, they go, oh, that's significant. So I guess I haven't hit very good idea, Barry. Great idea to have this. But to answer your question about the curriculum, what we're doing here is actually earlier than what a lot of the educational established education programs are. So my objective in an ideal world, be able to have kids in the sixth grade. And year one, whichever program they decide to do, let's say it's a lecture. You know, they leave our program with a tangible project that they just work on, they built, right? And they take home a brother dresser from the shelf in their bedroom, keep under their bed, someplace that they see it every day, and know that I did that in the sixth grade. And then find out that programs can be available, you can, as another opportunity, seventh grade, and then come back and do the seventh grade project. And well, where they get to, you know, solder some copper pipes together and make a stick figure person or whatever. And now that is on their shelf, right next to the project for your wall. And then they have to realize that I did this whole way through, you know, the ninth grade, I did the level project. And melts you into pieces to a lot of that. Okay. So being able to spark that imagination, you would create that level of excitement in a young child, to be able to come back year after year. And if they walk away from this, they say, trade's not one. So okay, great, that's fine. What we will accomplish here is being able to afford opportunities for individuals to improve themselves, be able to learn something they otherwise do not have experience, exposure, or opportunity. All right. All right, thank you very much. Brian, you are definitely a very strong man. I do want to caution you something about going and hitting the Great Lakes shippers. I mean, I imagine they're pretty burly people, and I bet they hit that. So I just wanted to caution you there. I think it's a fantastic program to get because, again, you know, traits have been, I think, somewhat overlooked over the years as a viable option for everybody as a career. And, you know, there's a crisis right now. Our trades people are aging out, and there's not enough people to kind of fill in those that are retiring or just growing older. So thank you again. I'm very glad that this program is available. I don't know if you've heard or not available, so on the road, you go out and visit different locations. If you love this facility, that's something that we would be able to do next year. Throwing that out there. So thank you again very much. Really appreciate it. Just a couple of housekeeping items real quickly. First of all, I just want to state that we will be having a foundation board meeting immediately after this meeting. All are welcome to attend. So just be kind of out there at 9 o'clock where we have all of our meetings. Next week will be just kind of a club meeting where we're together to talk about what's going on, having an open discussion. We'll meet again out in the dining hall, kind of like we've been doing, kind of tables and so forth. So that is where we will be next week. Seems like it's been forever and a day since we've actually been here. You know, I mean, think about it, the whole month we've really not been in Hudson. And we really have had a lot that has gone on. And it's really exciting. From going to the Molson Center, to the beer garden, to the picnic, and so forth. Tom, thank you very much for all your efforts on this long thing set up. I'll go over that here in just a quick minute before we wrap up the meeting. We did get a couple of letters sent to us that I'd like to read of support. This will go to our Rotary Foundation because they are in conjunction with the grants that we've given. But again, I think it's important that we recognize these letters. Love to see the good work we're doing as Rotarians here in Hudson community. So the first one comes from Gift of Life, and it says, "Dear Hudson Rotary Foundation, on behalf of Gift of Life Northeast Ohio Incorporated, I want to thank the Hudson Rotary Clubs for your generous you and continued support with your donation of $5,000 to help children born in the developing world in genital and defects. As I shared with the club on Wednesday, we are continuing our relationship with Gift of Life Cairo in our 6th Rotary Foundation Global Grant in Egypt, partnering with numerous other Gift of Life Rotary clubs around the world. We are also working to develop a new relationship, introducing Gift of Life to Ghana and West Africa in partnership with a surgeon from Boston Children's Hospital at Duke University. We continue to serve children on Haiti as well. Your donations provide direct care of children and the training of medical care professionals in the developing world as they work with our visiting teams to save the lives of their own children. None of these lives would be touched without your continued support. Thank you for making this possible. And signed, F. J. Vogel, Chairman of the Life for Peaceful Island Program. The second note comes from Hudson Community Living. Just got it this morning. So I'm reading it with you. Although it says, call me any bad names. Dear members of the Rotary Club of Hudson, on behalf of Hudson Community Living, we extend our most heartfelt thanks for the generous grant we receive to support this one and again. It is a reflection of the strength and generosity that defines the Hudson community. This money will go directly towards creating meaningful and inclusive opportunities for our residents, offering them experiences to grow, connect, and thrive in their new homes. From all of us, thank you for believing in our mission and helping us create more joy. With gratitude, Megan Howie, Community Director. So again, it's nice to read this because this really kind of shows what's going on and the impact that we are making in the lives of our fellow residents. So thank you all for your contributions. So we had a busy couple of weeks. First of all, the beer garden, which was not this past weekend, but we did before, although it feels like this is past week, so I'm still like dead tired. Wow, that was a lot of number. Can I please have everybody who participated stand up just for a second? We have a round of applause for everybody who participated. This was one heck of an event. I've never worked the whole thing start to finish before, and I'll tell you, it is a lot of work, but it does a lot of good, and it's a great opportunity to really spend time with our fellow Rotarians and to know them better. Now, beyond just what we were able to do in the community, raising funds for our scholarship program, really got to know each other at a better level. So, I really truly thank each and every individual who participated in this program. We definitely need your help next year. So put it on your calendar second weekend of August. Double check. Don't want to come back and it seems like August. But really, it was a fantastic that I think each and every individual will be there August 14th and 15th. So please put that on your calendars if you can. We need all hands on deck because it's a beast of an operation, but it's a fun operation. Gail, thank you. You were a beast on the grills. You were fantastic. So thank you. Thanks to everybody. Thank Jay and Liz, one of the things that we did this year was promoting Rotary to the community. I think that was very successful. Just kind of letting the community know really who Rotary is and what we're doing. So thank you for your efforts. I know that there is going to be a tent that we are getting this Saturday, correct? At the farmers market. Are you covered with enough people to help you out with that? Okay, you're very welcome. Again, this is some of the things we really want to do is make sure that the community knows who we are, that we're here, and all the things that we do for Rotary, or for the community, I should say. Patrick, do you want to share some of the great news from the beer garden as to numbers and so forth?
Sure. So we will net just under $6,000 from our 2-day efforts for the beer garden. Just shy of 950 rocks were served and 2 less hot dogs. A lot of cold beverages went out the door also, so it was a good 2 days for us. But it's also primarily it's getting Rotary out there and the public can see us being seen by the public. I think is more important than value in return. So.
I think Patrick's one of the things he's happened. He's head of this. I don't think Thank you very much for all your efforts and hard work, Patrick. It really is appreciated by us all. Just to give some numbers as to what we did at the regard, we sold 927 brats, 361 hot dogs, 690 drinks. So before all the expenses that we have put out there, it earned $11,626. And the sales were pretty much about between Friday and Saturday. 5,734 Friday, 5,890 Saturday. So after all of the costs and so forth, we have to share with the program. We were looking at netting around $6,250 for our scholarship program. So again, thank you very much, and thanks to everybody. Dave, can you stand up for a second, please? Stand up, come on. This man spearheaded our picnic. Can I have everybody stand up who's part of our picnic? Thank you very much. Fabulous, but very just nice evening for us all to come together. Again, camaraderie, friendship. Did a great job grilling. I think you grilled as well. Thank God I didn't get on trouble. So you guys did great. And thank you to everybody who participated, who brought such delicious items for us to enjoy. Again, this is something we're looking at doing every year. It was a great venue. So hoping that, we have your participation next year. Again, this is just a really nice evening for us all to come together as a group, just get to know each other all together. So with that, I am going to conclude our meeting. But before we do that, we have our Rotary raffle. So we have a whopping payout of $6 today with the jackpot of $343. So Brian, since you're a big, strong guy, and I'm gonna have you take out the thing. All right, the winning ticket today is 133907. 133907. Nobody claiming it? All right, Andy.
Earth to Andy.
All right, my friend. Get close, get close. Close with a cigar. Andy, plus you're giving it to me. Thank you. All right. So we will start meeting with our quote for the day, the inspirational quote for the day. And this comes from Joseph Campbell. I don't know, does everybody know who Joseph Campbell is? That's right, he makes a great tomato mist. Actually, he's a writer and a professor of literature at Sarah Lawrence College. He's passed away a while ago, but he worked in comparative mythology and comparative religion. And he's best known for writing a book called The Hero of a Thousand Faces. And basically what that book was about, it's basically looking at mythologies, different stories, tales about different communities, different time periods, different cultures, and they all have a very similar format of hero's journey, like the process that the hero goes through. They all follow the same mythologies and so forth. And he's best known also for inspiring a little known movie maker named George Lucas, who used the tenets from this book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, when he wrote a movie called Star Wars. So very interesting individual. And the quote from Mr. Campbell is, "We must be willing to let go of the life we plan so as to have a life that is waiting for us." And with that, I conclude our meeting for this week.